paid date, and then what will it be? Is less than or equal to. Okay, paid date is less than or equal to. Now, what should we do? It says, value specified in this filter. Let's look at the options. There is another option which says value from another field. Can we use that? Right, because we have the data stored in a different field, isn't it? So maybe this is a better one. Value from another field. And what is that field? Expected payment date, isn't it? Write expected date of payment if my payment date is less than or equal to the expected date of payment. That means that my expense report has been paid on time. Correct. Isn't it? What do you think? Or it can be the other way, like the expected date of payment is greater than or equal to the paid date. We could have written it like that as well. Okay. So now we have created this logic which says, expected date of paid date is less than or equal to the expected date of payment. Let's see if this works. Otherwise, we may have to change this calculation if you want. But first, let's test it out. So we go to Custom Report and Edit. Let's add a row here. Let's put the calculated field. And let's pay it on time. Question mark. Okay. And let's run this report one more time. Right. Okay. Right. So now, for these work. For the first few, 300 days, 30 days. Paid on time. You see, it is not. Yes, but for this one it is 0. Yes. Right. So now Logan can filter based on this paid on time field. Select one. Let's say no, right? It doesn't specifically say no, but if you select no, it will give you. You see, 473 out of 935, approximately 50%, around half of the expense reports are not paid on time. You see 300 days, 100 days, 500 days, right around 50% of the expense reports are not paid on time. So Logan has a task on our hands. She has to now find out what happened. Okay, but here you see how we could get such a meaningful report by doing some calculations. We started off with only the approval date and the paid date, but then we created some calculations like expected date of payment. We have days between approval and payment, and we also created a true-false condition which says, paid on time. But for this a true-false, by default gives you yes, but what happens? You see, that means, let me see. Okay, let me try something, let me run this report. I need to. I will learn something here as well. If I export this to Excel. Okay, if I export the entire report to Excel. Let's see what happens. Okay, if I open it up. No, it didn't. Okay. So for those. Yeah, for this. It was blank as well. Alright. No worries. We will go to. We will do it using a different way. We will do evaluate expression and there we will see. Yes. Alright. Okay. So now let's shift our focus to some text functions, right? Let's try to solve that challenge question that we had length of service worker. Okay, length of service worker. So let's open up the question one more time. Here it is. So we have the input data, something called as the length of service worker. That gives you the output something like this, 10 years, 4 months, and 6 days, and something like that. My question was extract the number of months from the length of service worker field. Write the number of months now. When you answered the question, you said between 2 commas. If we do between 2 commas, what would be the output? "4 months and 10 months. 10 months, something like this, right? Okay, but now I will tweak this question a little bit. I only want 4 and 10. So then we can use the space as a delimiter. Is it? Yes, so that's what we will try to do, but first, let's try to see how the data looks, based on that. We will analyze, and then maybe take the decision, right? But here we will do it very simple. We will just say the number of years. But this was a challenge question where I said the number of months, but we will do the number of years. So we are trying to find out the number of years and a worker has spent with the organization and then, based on the number of years. Okay, we will do something. We are trying to find out whether a worker has spent 5 years with the organization. Our objective is find list of workers who have more than 5 years of service. I mean who have completed more than 5 years of service. Right. This is our objective. Find the list of workers who have completed more than 5 years of service. Okay, that is our objective. Right, so you could do it in multiple ways, isn't it? Because the 5 years of service depends on what? If I want you to do this, how can you calculate whether a worker has completed 5 years of service or not? From the hire date till today. Yes, so you can use hire date, right? You can have today, right? And then, what can you do? We just did some calculations like that. Date difference. Date difference, right? And you can choose the output to be in years, right? We chose months, but you could choose the output type to be in years, and then there will be 0, 3, 4, 5, etc. Whatever. So yeah, And then you create a filter and do it like if it is more than 5 years of service. This is absolutely possible. This is definitely, and I would say this is the most efficient way of doing it, rather than what we are going to do. But what we are going to do shows you the power of using the substrate. That is why we are going to do it in a different way. But of course this is something you could have done. Like this, a date difference. So in Workday, there are many ways of writing the same logic. It's up to you how you want to write it. So let's go here. Let's create. First of all, we have to create a new custom report. Create custom report.